Welcome to After Dark at the Fixed Ops Roundtable, featuring Katrina Ness, Vanessa Collins, and Ted Ings. This episode is brought to you by BG Products, partners beyond products. And now for your hosts, Ted Ings, Vanessa Collins, and Katrina Ness.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Fixed Ops Roundtable's After Dark show. My name is Brooke Engelhardt, and I'm joined by Ted Ings, Michelle McLAIN, and as well Anthony Blubello from RevolutionParts. Anthony, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Brooke, a lot of talent on this screen tonight. Thank you for doing this as well, Brooke. Appreciate you spending the time from the auto show at Northwood University, which is where you are now. Look at that.
Yes, of course. Yeah, you're more than welcome, Ted. And I am just honored to be here, especially with all of you wonderful people.
It's great to have met you maybe a year and a half back on one of our early trips to Northwood. Michelle McLAIN is with us tonight. She is the brains behind the Fixed Ops Roundtable. She's the marketing guru who comes up with all of these themes and suggestions and colors and fonts and creations. Michelle, how do you keep outdoing yourself? And are you on to the next event yet without giving it away?
I am. We are always months and months and months ahead of the curve, knowing what we're going to do, when we're going to do, how we're going to do it. And the brainchild always starts usually about a month into the current event with my virtual vision boards and life-sized office vision boards, just trying to figure out how we can top ourselves. We've consistently been leveling up and trying to do some new things and different things. And so it's really exciting to be here and be a part of this.
Michelle, do you know Trevor Shannon? He's with Dynatron Software down in Florida.
I know the name. We have not had a chance to connect, but hi, Trevor. Thanks so much for joining in tonight.
He came to the pop-up event that we did over at Ed's place. And Trevor's a big part of our events. He's going to be on a big panel coming up for this one as well. And look at this, Richard Lupo. Richard, good evening. And great to have you as well. So look forward to the Young Tech panel we have coming up with you on the show. So, Brooke, last time that we had Anthony on the roundtable, he was in retail, I believe a little over 20 some years in Pennsylvania at a BMW dealership, running the parts department, parts manager. And Anthony, how am I doing on that? And bring us up to speed. What are you doing now?
Nah, you hit the nail on the head. I'm hitting double deuces right now. 22 years with the BMW Mini dealership, 22 years in the automotive industry, just enjoying life. Some personal, achievements. I just wanted to change up my career, and lo and behold, I landed up with RevolutionParts, and nothing really new there because I was already using them and very used to using the platform. So I'm excited. I'm excited to bring some experience, some maybe tricks of the trade, some secret sauce, if you will, to some other dealers, and just help everybody grow and get better. I mean, e-commerce is the way to go. If you can build 30 different buildings that cost $10 million a building, why can't you have 30 different e-commerce site for each building? It costs nothing compared to what the building costs. So it's just, I'm excited. The industry's moving, right?
Wait a second. You're saying sell like online parts?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Michelle, novel idea. I guess if it can work in retail, maybe it can work in parts. And I think Anthony's proven that now.
No, absolutely. I think that the industry is constantly evolving and constantly growing and constantly changing. And the dealers that are going to find themselves the most successful, whether it's on the sales side in retail or even on the fixed ops side of things with parts, service, labor, things like that, being able to, kind of have your heart on the pulse of the industry and be able to grow with it and make changes and shift and adapt. Those are the dealerships that we're seeing right now that are really the most successful because they're open to kind of embracing change. And our favorite word here at the roundtable, Ted, making that pivot, right? So many things have happened in our industry in the last, 5 years, especially. And those dealers that are consistently evolving and looking for opportunities where they can make a little more profit or conversely be more convenient for their customers. Those are the dealerships that are ultimately going to be the ones that we're going to see continuing to grow. So super exciting time to be in automotive.
Brooke, Michelle told me like a little over 5 years ago that word pivot, because I was all worried that, when things changed and in the economy and everything went south, which it did, that we wouldn't be able to pull off these events. And she said, you got to pivot and think differently, Brooke. And Michelle was right. Sarah, good evening. Corley, good evening as well.
Yeah, Ted forgot to add therapist to my job title. I'm also the person that talks him off of the ledge whenever things are going wrong and we need to make changes.
Hey, we all need that.
Many hats.
Yes.
Very true. Yeah.
Yep. You know, my probably not so much lately, the therapist, right? Jean says, oh, she goes, I could tell things are going along just fine because you're not on the ledge anymore.
No, you're great, Ted. And honestly, it's an honor. This is the team effort. Every last thing that we do here, it's, you know, it starts with great leadership. And Ted, you are truly one of the most remarkable humans and business leaders in this space. You're just literally, you're so involved in everything. And that's really a rarity these days. It's rare to see a business owner, especially somebody who is in charge of orchestrating events like this, that really is truly involved. And Ted is really, he is involved in every single step of the process, everything from, you know, the ideas and the creation to the creative rollouts that we do, everything that we do, Ted's really, really involved in, and he's meticulous. And so am I. So I think that's why we work so well together. I understand the Ted brain and I know what his expectations are. And Ted kind of gives me the creative freedom and control, you know, within his little box sometimes, but you know, we butt heads sometimes, but more often than not, like it just comes together because we share those ideas and we have the communication and conversations and say, this is what'll work and this is what won't. And if it doesn't work, we make a shift. And I think that's so important for any business owner, dealerships alike, just, you know, opening up to your people, asking for creative criticism, asking for feedback, being involved in the process, being involved in your departments, and really standing out as a leader. There's a million managers out there. There are a dime a dozen, but finding really true leaders that are out there that want to make a difference in this world and in their businesses and dealerships, that's a little bit harder to find. So it's really a breath of fresh air being able to have this relationship with you, Ted.
Oh, Michelle, that and you are so special. I'm indebted
As
to
are
all
you,
that you
as
do.
are you.
Brooke,
Really funny.
David Lucas is in the chat. I don't know if you noticed the other night, he said good morning as well. He's in Australia, so it is good morning.
Wow.
So he's been on several times. Brooke, you have to ask Katrina and Vanessa about the Vegemite challenge.
Oh no, did they? I forgot they did that. Oh,
yeah.
I'll be sure to remember to ask them.
We had a basket of goodies, David, right, from Australia, and the ladies had them as well, and we sampled different things. It was the taste of Australia that evening, Anthony, and we came upon the Vegemite last, and we won't forget that anytime soon.
Wow, how exciting.
Don't try it. And how about Tony Owens, Michelle, right? He's with us all
I
the
love
time.
Tony.
Yeah.
Tony's getting ready to come out with a book. You know what? I just have to share a small story. It was so sweet. I was sick, as many of you know, like a few weeks back. And God love Tony. He calls me up and he's like, I hope you're doing well. And by the way, I want to give you a shout out in my book. And I'm like, well, what did I do to deserve that honor? And, you know, it's just, I just love his heart. He's such a remarkable human being. He's always there for people. He shows up for everybody. He shows up for the roundtable and events, and he shares stuff out. And he's such a big fan. And he's just a great human. So if you're not following Tony Owens, guys, please make sure you follow Tony. He is a breath of fresh air, and he's wonderful. We love Tony.
Anthony, it's a pretty cool family at the Fixed Ops Roundtable. So.
Oh yeah, you guys are great. I mean, I could boast about Ted myself. I mean, the first time I met him about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, on the first one of these I did. I mean, he was just like, he was the Tiger Woods of, like, almost like a Dateline. Like he was so crisp. He still is, but it's just like my first impression, it's up here. Like there's you can't bring it down. So Ted, I totally agree to Michelle's point. You got to have great leaders. You got to have great managers. You got to lead by example. You got to be fully immersed. And most of the conversations that Ted has, I mean, they're 100% true at the dealer level. That's our bread and butter. That's our people that we're trying to communicate to. He's heavily immersed. He knows everything we're talking about. And he has at least history. He has at some point has been there, done that, and you know knows what the right thing is to say. So I give you kudos for that, for actually being involved in what you're doing.
Thank you. You and Tully Williams are special voices for Fixed Ops, because you're You're not
Oh, I
only
love colors.
you're not
Me
only
too.
immersed in it, but you're outgoing and you're great spokespeople for it. And Anthony, you're the first one I've met on the parts side, especially on the e-commerce side, to kind of blow that up big. So if you don't mind, tell us what's going on there. I know Brooke probably has a question or two to to ask you, but oh, Brooke, I won't steal your thunder. Go ahead.
Thanks, Ted. Yeah, so Anthony, I'd love to know further. What is Revolution Parts?
I mean, Revolution Parts is a platform that offers not just dealers, but even aftermarkets an avenue to sell parts, and a platform that integrates eBay, Amazon, even a plugin. Maybe you're a dealership and you want to plug in to have a hyperlink at your dealer's website. It's truly a kind of just a main hub, if you will, to put everything in one stop. When I was at the dealership, we had eBay, we had our plugin, we had our own site. My shipping and receiving department went to one login. It simplifies life. It makes things a lot easier. And there's so many tools. I used it for 8 years at the dealership level. Now I'm with Revolution. I'm still learning stuff. So they're constantly making changes, advancements, critiquing, making it better. And then they're adding consulting services, coaching, customer service agents. Like they're not just saying like eBay just offers you a platform. They're not coaching you. Like they're doing everything they can to really help you do better, so they do better. So I mean, Revolution Parts is revolutionary.
That's
Anthony,
incredible.
what about things like shipping? Isn't that hard?
I don't think it's hard, but if you never started, I could totally see why you think it's hard. But once again, Revolution Parts gives you the tools to start out. We mentor you, we coach you on where to put things, dimensional weight. A lot of stuff is actually brought in by the manufacturers. Revolution Parts has a huge tie to most of the manufacturers out there. I think we're missing like 3 right now. And they supply sizes, weights, dimensional weights, billable weight, a lot of stuff that's really big. You don't want to get dinged on it. So, there's a lot of back end numbers that's pushed in there. So you're set up for success. Now there's going to be hurdles. You're going to have situations that you're going to fix, but they really do set you up really well. And then we try to coach the dealers. At least I know from my experience, it's really about processes. You got to have processes. And that's why they're right where the management and the leadership team at the dealer level really helps you succeed. You got to be fully immersed and treat e-commerce as its own business versus just being at the dealership level.
I like that. And e-commerce is a thing now. It's like real, right? There's big dollars behind it.
Oh yeah, I mean, you just showed me a graph earlier. I mean, we're what, 20-something billion dollars, projected to go up to $30 billion in the next 5 years. Like it's big business. I mean, this is, in my opinion, this could be the future Amazon of automotive parts. Most car people are online searching. I mean, how many times do you go to a dealership, get a quote, and immediately hop on your phone? You know what I mean? Like if you're going to complain about the people, I almost said a bad word. If you're going to complain about the people that are getting those quotes and hopping online and searching for it, why beat them? Or why try to beat them? Just join them. Start your own e-commerce store and get all that business that you're losing. Like it just, there's a lot of open-minded thinking that I think people just don't have yet, but it's never too late. It's never too late to jump in, especially with a lot of stuff that's happening in 2025. You got to get on the bandwagon, because if not, that train's going to leave you behind.
And there's tens of billions of dollars at stake, right? Looks like 24.9 billion this year.
Yeah, that's even more. That's even more than I thought.
So, I mean, this is Michelle. This is online new auto parts and accessories going on the web. Okay, coming through dealers. Okay, and using platforms like this, like Revolution Parts, and really taking a dealership like where Anthony was and expanding their storefront to not just a couple zip codes, but like the whole world, right?
I didn't step outside the US, but every month I would get a report from UPS and FedEx. We literally shipped it all 50 states, Hawaii and Alaska included. And it was really neat seeing your hot zones, California. So I'm based out of Pennsylvania, Philadelphia area, California, Florida, New York. I was doing 10,000 plus units a year, shipments to those states alone, not including all the other ones. So, I mean, think about how much business that is. I mean, it's a lot. And we're just one website. I mean, Revolution Parts has close to 4,000 customers on their platform, but they're selling everything. Anybody can be on the platform if you're selling OE or aftermarket parts. So, I mean, there's a lot of business out there. Like when people say, oh, the market's flooded, but yet you're going to spend $10 million to put a dealership up on a busy corner. Why don't you spend a couple thousand and start an e-commerce website and just get yourself $10, $20, $30,000 of gross. I mean, Tully talks about money. I mean, money, why say no to the money? Time and money are the two things and retention, of course, that's the big one. But, all you got to do is do it right once. And somebody's going to star your website. They'll come back. There's your customer retention. And the money is just, you can't say no to it,
And Michelle, it's big. It's this
retention's everything. I mean, it really truly is. And I can't tell you how many conversations that I have on a daily, if not hourly basis of talking with dealers or talking with clients in every aspect and vertical and talking about the importance of retaining your clients. This idea these days now of just being a revolving door, and whether it's, like I said, sales, service, parts, it doesn't matter what it is. If you are not creating the kind of experience that is transparent and that's bringing the people back for multiple purchases and or having people send referrals to you, you're probably not going to be around very long. I mean, that's just the reality. People don't just come in off the streets like they used to. So I think having a revolutionary platform like Revolution Parts is definitely something that's needed in the marketplace right now. And I think that it's only going to continue to grow.
Oh, I can't agree more with you on that. And we got a lot of young faces moving into the dealership, and they're constantly just moving and grooving, especially like Brooke. Everybody, we got young people, we got fresh blood, bringing fresh ideas, creativity, hustle, and drive. I mean, those are it's a recipe for disaster. We got tornadoes. People are just going to be throwing parts around like it's going nuts.
Innovation's everything.
I don't know if you know Larry Sherman, okay, but Tully says it's all about the hours. Larry says parts sells hours. You got to have those parts, Anthony, to sell the hours.
I totally agree with him on that. When I was on the back counter, my tech would come in and say, hey, I just want the water pump and walk away. That's when I'm adding the bolts, I'm adding the hose, I'm adding the coolant. I know he's got to take the AC line off, so now I'm adding the Freon and then the O-ring for the AC line. Guess what? Now he needs brake clean, maybe even some Scotch lock. I mean, I'm just padding it. So you're right. You pad some parts on there to sell some hours, it's, and also you want to do the job right. It's not like you're trying to rip people off, but you want to do it right the first time. Have everything there. What he doesn't use it, you can bring back. So you got to do it right the first time.
Sarah is saying 2025 is the year of the parts department. I've heard that. I don't know if you've heard that.
Oh, from the consumer side too.
I'm running that by Anthony.
No, true story here. So, Ted, you remember about a year and a half ago, my husband had his Tundra parked at an airport parking garage right underneath of the camera. He comes back after being deployed, mind you, and someone had stolen all 4 catalytic converters off of his truck. Called insurance. We literally had to call almost every dealership in the country because nobody had catalytic converters. And thank God, my dear friend, Jonathan Dawson, he made some phone calls, but we had parts literally had to be shipped from a dealership down in Atlanta all the way here to Colorado. And if it weren't for platforms like e-commerce, we would have probably waited even longer and we would have never, ever been able to get the parts. So having that kind of a transparency and having dealers that are interconnected and able to do things like that and get parts to other dealers, especially in this part of the country where we've just seen this upsurge and uptick in parts that are being stolen. And that's not ever why we want to create business. But at the end of the day, like, you have to get your car fixed. And here in Colorado, there has been such a part shortage that, like I said, people have been waiting 8, 9, even over a year to be able to get things fixed on their vehicles. Whereas before, we had all this stuff going on, like it never used to be like that. So having the ability to have a platform where you can centrally see, hey, this is a location that has everything in the country. And even sometimes if you do have to go aftermarket, which we're not allowed to do here in Colorado, unfortunately on those, but saying, hey, you know what, I don't have an OEM in stock, but here's a complement, or, a complementing aftermarket part that's just as good a quality that maybe we can get you. And being able to tell a consumer that in their time and get them what they need quicker and faster, That's huge. It's huge. Like I said, we personally went through it, so I feel that pain.
It's funny you talk about trying to locate and source stuff. The Revolution Parts platform actually has live inventory, assuming you have it turned on, and they even have an obsolescence tool. So if you got stuff that's been sitting there collecting dust, maybe you want to sell it at cost, even less than cost, you can literally upload a CSV file of those items, dump them right into your inventory, and you don't have to hand type them. You could put a 200 SKU CSV file in there in a blink of an eye. So it's those tools that are in the platform that are helping everybody being able to connect and, like you said, be able to find stuff. It's hard to find certain things.
Yeah, it really is. Quicker, faster, better. Those are the people that are succeeding. If the quicker somebody can get something to the consumer, the better off they're going to be. We all know that we're an impatient people in this world. And if you can't get something and you have to wait and wait and wait, chances are that you're going to pick up the phone and you're either going to go to a different dealership. You're going to do like what you said. You're going to Google it. You're going to end up going to, some third-party company and have no idea what you're getting just because you need something here and now. And so a company like Revolution Parts, if you're not signed up for this, guys, like, what are you waiting for? That's just, to me, that's just throwing money away. Why would you do that? I don't even understand why every dealership in the country isn't using your platform.
Well, we're all consumers, right, Brooke? Have you ever bought anything online?
Yeah, multiple things. I mean, constantly shopping. I mean, shopping is my middle name practically. But yeah, I mean, everybody on this After Dark show is right. I mean, getting the item quickly to the consumer is one of the most important things, especially to the consumer. So just considering that for future, and it seems as though Revolution Parts is on top of this for sure.
Time is money.
Well,
Time is money.
We're all consumers here. So, and if you can just have some internal processes to keep things moving and convey the message you want to convey to your customers, that you want to keep them happy, because if they're not happy, they don't come back. Then, that's what you got to do, is just the golden rule, put the processes in place, make sure it's nice and clean, get, items that are hard to find to your customers in a timely manner and a transparent, and, keep the canned messages. We even have an automation tool, which is really neat. So if you order something and forget to put your VIN, or, forget to maybe select the year, make, and model, you can have every order send a canned message requesting a VIN or requesting a fitment confirmation. So there's just so many tools and tricks to the trade that the platform offers to save you time, which equals money, and not even having to hire somebody. I mean, my store ran up until we hit 6 figures before I even thought about hiring an extra body. So that's invaluable right there. I mean, if that doesn't sell it, I don't know what does.
And you started small, right? You didn't start with these 6 figures right out of the gate.
Oh God, no. I mean, we probably were 3 years before we hit 6 figures, but it was also trial and error. It was also, we weren't using marketing. Michelle knows, without marketing, how are you going to get anywhere? I didn't know anything about marketing as a parts manager. I was not tech savvy. I'm still not tech savvy. I'm learning as I go. And if it's not right in front of me, I'm not going to learn it. But, when I figured out what SEOs were in like 2019, right before COVID. And so that's when we started, hey, let's do marketing. And then COVID hit, and it's like, boom, it just shot through the roof. And then we were hitting 6 figures in 2020. And then we hit 200 grand in 2022. Then we hit 300 grand a month consecutively in 2024. So it's like, it just exploded from that point. But, who knows, this whole tariff thing could be another COVID, not that we even have enough information to talk about tariffs right now, because we do not.
Oh, but boy, everybody is.
Well, I had multiple consulting calls today. The dealer, they moved everything to the side and was like, that whole subject. No, I want to talk about tariffs, what I need to do. And I'm like, listen, I don't have any answers, but let's talk. Just let me talk you off the ledge real quick. Let's treat it like COVID. Buy 3 months of inventory, because that inventory is there. They've already bought it. They already know what they own it for. Why are you going to wait and then possibly spend more money? Get yourself 3-4 months inventory now. You know what your cost is. You already own it. No sense in price gouging. And now you'll be ahead of the game. And then we'll see where we're at in, 4 to 6 weeks. But I know when I was at the dealer, most of the stuff coming down the pipeline was anywhere between 3 to 4 months minimum. So, I mean, if you're talking about tariffs today, I got 3 months marked on my calendar that I know I'm good, because I'm going to start buying up, because that stuff's already set in stone. But
right, and then you have an overage. You've got Revolution Parts. You can just sell it again.
Look at her. She just spun it right around. I did a 180 like this. She's like, no, I'm bringing it around.
I mean, that's the truth though. It's not
Uh-huh.
like physical units like dealers, on the sales side of it where, they're paying floor plan and all of this kind of stuff. But from a parts perspective, like I said, it's very easy. You can go and put the parts right back online and you can sell them if you have an overage. And it makes it a lot faster and easier to turn your stuff around by having an e-commerce platform. So you're not sitting on all of that kind of stuff. It's not like you're sitting and paying floor plan on your parts, right? So I agree with you. I say dealers, stock up on the stuff, especially that that your consumers are going to need. That's why it's so important to have processes, but also to really just have your pulse on what the consumer wants and needs. Like, look at what you're consistently selling, right? Look at what you're consistently billing out and make sure that you have enough of a supply of those type of things. Like my example with the catalytic converters. If you're in Colorado, everybody should be buying plenty of them because it's a problem. But when you know what's going on in your space and in your area, and especially in your backyard, that makes things a lot easier. And then, like I said, you as a dealer are the one that's going to get the business because you have the part in stock, you have the people there in order to put the parts on, and you're going to be the one that gets the business. Whereas the guy down the road that says, I think I'll take my chances, he's probably going to lose a whole lot of parts and service business in the upcoming months if he doesn't take that risk. Got to make a little bit of a risk to get a little bit of a reward, right? Or in this case, I think a huge reward. So.
Oh, that's huge. And how many places have the model where people are prepaying for stuff? Think about that. When you buy something from the website, you have the money like ahead of time. How many times do you have a car waiting in the drive lane, nice and clean, and the customer comes to look at it before they even pay for it or before they put the deposit down? So, it's kind of a perfect scenario. You get your money up front. You get to kind of set the terms of the business side of things.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like that a whole lot. So, Anthony, you're going to be helping dealers now for Revolution Parts. What's on the horizon for you? It's a whole new world for you, right? You're not having to be actually in the dealership every day, but you're doing the remote stuff for dealers, right?
So pretty much it's consulting, it's dealer support, it's coaching, a lot of internal stuff. But surprisingly, most of the people at Revolution Parts have not worked at a dealership ever. They're software tech people or the customer service. So, really just trying to convey that dealer experience, what I've seen, what I've learned, the way I think things should work. I mean, and not to pat myself on the back, but when you start from nothing and get up to 300,000 a month consecutively with a good group, I had a great group. Don't get me wrong. They were phenomenal. Couldn't have done it without them. Especially my co-manager, Randy. The guy was crazy with inventory, but with doing that, you have to be able to know where to start. And that's what I'm hoping to bring to Revolution Parts is, show people, hey, you can do it. No matter what the hurdle is, we have a solution. And I love when most of these consulting calls, the first thing we're talking about are problems and issues. I just see nothing but solutions because I'm like, this is great. You have problems. I'm going to help you find a solution. A lot of times when you sit down and you're like, all right, well, what do you got going on? I don't know. Business is good. Okay, well, what can I help you with? I don't know.
What problem can I solve for you today?
Exactly. I need a problem. So I actually enjoy. Yeah, I enjoy seeing the problems because I know I'm going to have a solution at some point. May not be right now, but I'll find one. So that's what I'm going to be doing is just problem solving, and it's very rewarding and it's enjoyable. I still get to be in the automotive parts section. I'm a car guy. I have 2 classic cars in my garage. I love anything with a carburetor. So I'm still immersed in, the overall vibe of the automotive field. So I'm excited though. I'm looking forward to it.
And you having the retail experience, how valuable is that? Like you just said, because not everybody in every company has retail experience, as you say.
Well, not a lot of parts people do. I mean, parts is kind of that in the middle, they're logistics, they're a little bit more detail oriented. Sometimes they don't have the personality, but they're still a vital part of the parts department. They're literally what separates the service and the technicians. Without them, without any 3 of those, you can't do the dealership service department, so they're vital. So, it's retail is definitely something that I think you have to have some patience and you have to have empathy. And I empathize with a lot of people. I mean, they want to start out, when I was at the retail counter, start out, oh, I have a flat tire, woe is me. It's all right. Well, hey, we're here to make this better. We're here to get the tire. We're here to get you, an Uber ride back to your work so you don't miss any time. And we'll call you when the car's done. We'll Uber you back. You got to really just empathize and have patience with people. the retail experience is kind of white glove, if you will. And I don't care what brand you're with. I don't care if it's Kia, Toyota, BMW, Porsche, Mercedes. If you treat everybody with the same kind of white glove service, you kind of want that in reply. You're going to make successful things are going to happen.
100%.
Michelle, great advice.
Well, Anthony, if there's anything I can do to support you from a marketing perspective, and I don't offer pick my brain services very often, but if there's anything I can do to help you from a marketing perspective or, you know, anything like that, like, please reach out anytime. Like, I'm always happy to try to help somebody else grow.
Oh, I appreciate that. That's awesome. Hey, this is truly a family network. You guys have built yourself, you know, and especially wrapped around Ted and all his knowledge.
Michelle, the next event is coming up in May. All systems go. We're about 4.5, 5 weeks away from that. Do you know what's coming up after that? Are you already have that?
I do. I don't want to give it away just yet, but I will tell you that it's kind of a piggyback off of one of the biggest events that we have ever done in the history of the Fixed Ops Roundtable. It is kind of a throwback theme, if you will. We're hoping that people are going to come out in all their dress up and garb, as my father likes to call it. It's going to be, and my dad literally still uses that word, not kidding. But no, it's going to be a fantastic event. Like I said, it is kind of a piggyback off of something we've done before, but I don't want to give it away just yet. Okay. It's going to be fun.
That's still a few months at least away, or
still a few months away, but we've got the concept, and we're working on all of the marketing, and we're going to be announcing that at our upcoming All Systems Go event. So you're going to want to make sure that you stay tuned into that. Head on over to fixedopsroundtable.com and get your complimentary ticket today. It is a 100% virtual and online event. So you don't even have to leave your pajamas if you don't want to, but just show up, come hang out, network, meet our Fixed Ops Roundtable family. I can tell you personally, you'll make a lot of amazing connections, and you will walk away a better person with a whole lot of knowledge. So make sure you do that. Fixedopsroundtable.com. It is complimentary. Get your ticket today.
I love it. And Brooke, what happens in May at Northwood? There's a big date coming up there.
Yes, there is. May 10th, I'm actually graduating from Northwood. I'm currently a fourth year. Thank you all. I'm currently a fourth year digital marketing student. So on May 10th, which is a Saturday, I will be graduating from Northwood and moving into my full-time role at MEMA.
At MEMA, which, wow, congratulations on that. And you've been working with them for a while now, right? As an intern initially.
Yes, yeah. I've been working with them as an intern since June of 2023. So it's been some time for sure.
Oh, wow. That's well, you know, the intern thing is good because you both learn, you and the employer, about each other and find out if it's a good fit.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And you always want to hire within. You never want to bring somebody out. So that's awesome. I mean, I started the dealership at 19. Who knows? You could be with them for two-decade career.
I was 18. I did it too. I get it. And here we are 20 some odd years later. And I'm still wrapped up in this industry in some way, shape, or form always. It's really family. Like, it truly is. So.
All right. You guys
Thank you.
Great.
Yeah.
All right. And Brooke, finally, the girls are out and they're still out in Sri Lanka. What are they doing there? And what's happening out there?
Yeah, Vanessa and Katrina, as well as two of our other good friends, Colin and Alexander Mazon. They are currently out in Colombo, Sri Lanka, which you can see right there on the screen. They are currently out there participating in NU CARS, which stands for Northwood University Computer Automotive Retail Simulation. So they are actively in the classroom, just learning about automotive retail in general and competing in a simulation with other international students.
Wow. All right.
That's super cool.
Got to cheer them on. And when are they coming back? When are they scheduled to come back? Let's just say.
Yeah, they're scheduled to come back Sunday, April 13th. So pretty soon, but they still have some time out there.
All right. Good. All right. Michelle,
don't leave your luggage behind, girls.
Hey, the women in the automotive field are strong. My wife used to paint cars for a living, and it's rare to find a woman in the automotive industry, no matter if you're at a body shop, mechanic shop, dealership. But I mean, they honestly are the strong ones. I mean, I've seen female technicians just grow and strive and do great. My wife painted cars. I mean, it's really great to see the women in the automotive field because it's not biased at all. It's just whether or not they want to jump in or not.
All
I feel
right.
like I paved the way a little bit, just a little bit for the future generation. But it's so exciting, like you said.
Hopefully,
it really is.
And Michelle, it seems to be getting better and better and better. Okay, so
It really is. The car business that I started in is not the car business that we're in now, and dealers that haven't begun to embrace that, they're probably not going to find themselves in business very much longer, unfortunately. But no, it's a great time to be in the automotive industry, and it really has grown. It's become so diverse, and yeah, women do very well in this industry. And I'm speaking from personal experience. I've worked pretty much every angle ever in the automotive industry, and it paved the way for me to launch my own company. It paid for my college. I mean, so many opportunities came out of automotive, and I'm very blessed to be a part of this industry. So yes, if you're a woman considering getting in automotive, kind of silence the crickets and actually to give it a chance, because it really is an incredible industry to be in.
all right, Anthony, we'll see you soon. I know we have a lot going on with Revolution Parts, so I know Sarah did an interview with you on the next roundtable, so we got that and a whole bunch more. So
awesome. Thanks, guys. It was great meeting you.
And
You
thanks for being
too.
here tonight. Michelle, as always, I'll talk to you soon. Hopefully not at
Absolutely.
4 a.m, but
It'll be in 30 minutes or less, I'm sure. So
good. And
He's
Brooke,
like a good pizza, man. 30 minutes or less.
yeah, right. Yeah. And Brooke, a lot, as Mike Stoll says, Brooke, the best is yet to come, right?
Absolutely. The best is yet to come.
Our good friend. All right, everybody, have a good night on behalf of the roundtable, and we'll be back here on Monday night.